I would like to room next to Erin Andrews on September 4th. Now, she does not have the authority to make that happen. She's going to relay the information. That's her job, is to relay the information. She says, noted. And here's the document. You'll see and hear a whole lot about this document. This is what that lady types into over here. 6 lines down. I have to see this a little better. Info. GST, RQST, the room next to Erin Andrews. That's just abbreviation for I, Michael Barrett, want a room next to Erin Andrews. That's my request. That's what he asked. Now the National Marriott then pulls this information from Marriott International. Pulls it. And then this is off of their computer system, which was found sometime later after this. But it has a creation date of September 2, 2008. Remember, that's the date he makes the call. September 2, 2008. The lady at the National Marriott records over here, do not move. And there's a code on here that you'll hear about. A1 means adjoining, and there's another code, C1 means connecting. Adjoining, connecting is where there's a door, a common door between. Adjoining means next to it. That's on this record at the National Marriott. Do not move. September 3, Erin Andrews checked in. They put her in 1051. I'm going to show you the video. Again, you can pause it now. Thank you. To orient you, I actually took this. I was standing right here, looking that way. And the next thing is going to be looking down this way. And then we're going to go that way. Okay. Let's pause that. Now go back a little bit. Down the long haul. We're looking like this, down this long hall. So at the end of the hall, we're going to turn right. Okay, pause it there. Now you're looking this way. I'm going to go up and zoom in here just a moment. Okay. Stop. door on the left is 10:49. The one on the right is 10:51. The hotel is going to put Barrett in 10:49. The next study. Erin Andrews is in 10:51. Go ahead. Okay, this is now looking, I'm going to turn and look back this way. And turn, this is what you're going to see here next. Okay, go ahead. Stop. See that wall on the left? That's this wall. Let's put her in an alcove back here. All right, go ahead. This is inside 1051. December 4, Barrett checked in. This is that same document I showed you earlier, but enlarged. You see the bottom 18 comments do not move. Joining and connecting is requested to be put next to their name. He comes in and he hits in that limb. Next to her, during the daytime, next to her, and you can tell she leaves the room at one point. And he's waiting for her to come back. He hears her come back. He waits and listens some more. He knows she stayed in the shower. What he did before this moment is he went out to the hall while she was gone and removed the people device, the people. He had the intention of looking through there, through that peephole, and filming her. He's now set up. He's placed part of the peephole back in the door. He's waiting. And he hears her come out of the shower, and he looks through the altered peephole. Has a view of her without clothes on. Puts his telephone up there. You can see on the other side. And videos her without clothes on. Of course, she's totally unaware this is going on. And she's acting like not at home. getting dressed to go to work. She has a big game before on the sideline. He stands there for 4.5 minutes and videos her. Erin goes about her work, totally unaware that this is happening. Barrett starts to try to sell this on the internet. Sell it to somebody. Somebody will buy it. So he finally posted it on the internet himself. And it starts getting hits. This goes on for a few weeks. Erin Andrews is totally unaware that this is happening. Life is good for Erin. She's doing a great job with ESPN. In July of the next year, she's as happy as she can be. She gets a call that she'll never forget the rest of her life. Erin, you're on the internet without any clothes on. You know that? And she's just totally comes apart and is hysterical. Completely, utterly in horror, shame, and humiliation. And ESPN learns about this. And they start doing everything they can to take this down. Get this down. And they can't. It's going viral. It's like a virus. There's no antibiotic to stop this thing. It goes worldwide because of who she is. Worldwide. She is so afraid now. She is so afraid. Who did this? Who could have done that? Where did it happen? Is somebody trying to kill him? Is somebody going to kill him? What is it? Could it be a crew member? How did this happen? Where did it happen? This goes on for weeks. It was so bad when she had to stop working for us for a while because she couldn't act not for them. But she holds her head up and she's tough. You're going to see she is strong. She goes back to work. Trying to live with this, and she goes back to work. And work, as you know, from the common sense. When somebody has great grief, sometimes the way to lose that is to go work. She did that. And she shines in her work. There's a lot of testimony from people who are trained in people who know and explain why she works so hard. The FBI gets involved and comes in several months later. Finally, they figure out who did this. That he did this at Marriott. And they arrest him. And he goes to jail. As he should. Marriott could have completely prevented this early on. They followed the standard they're supposed to follow. I'm sorry, we can't tell you that. Remember that's Erin Andrews? Excuse me. You're going to have to call around and get permission for this, or at least call Erin Andrews if there's somebody who wants to stay next to you. This man was not a member of the ESPN crew. He wants to be right next to Erin Andrews for some bad reason, some no good reason. And they put him in there. Erin has fought her way through a lot of humiliation. This is not like, you can understand it now. This is not like being in a car wreck and breaking an arm, and the arm heals and you get over it. There have been millions and millions of hits on this video around the world. It happens, it continues to happen. It's happening today. It will never stop. This is not like a broken arm that heals. She gets social media comments about this still. She gets catcalls at football games. So here's some of the things that some people say to her. I saw your blank on the internet, Erin. Looking good, honey, at football game. Now this is strength to go back out there and put up with that kind of thing. This is a strong woman. But she has a heart like all of us. And this is so humiliating for her. And it continues. And it's never going to stop. She has to live with this. Knowing this will be up there for my life. I'm going to talk to you about some of the defenses that you're going to hear from the defendants through their lawyers. They're going to throw so many things out for consideration. I've had to make a list. Before I get to the defenses, I want to tell you something I forgot. They had no security guard on duty when this happened. There was no security camera on this floor when this happened. Now the defense is going to ask you to give them a break. Give them a break. Barrett deceived us. You heard that yesterday. Barrett deceived us. Would you go back, please, Jason, to the one about where he puts his name on that form, where the lady Marriott International puts his name on the form? Just that blank, that's it. Okay. Michael Barrett's name is on this document. When he checks in, he checks in as Michael Barrett. He uses a Michael Barrett credit card at the front desk. There's no question of who's there, who's wanting at 1049. They'll tell you that, I expect they'll tell you, we've listened to this for a long time, video. I believe they're going to try to tell you that the lady at Marriott International that computer information about request for room next to Erin Andrews never got to the front desk at the National Marriott. Go back and put that one of it at the National Marriott, please. I keep going. It's one that shows its reservation information. That's it. Here is that information. He's asking for an adjoining room, a connecting room. And these defendants want you to think this hotel with 307 rooms, that it was a coincidence that he ends up in 1049. And they had nothing to do with this. They're going to tell you, we had nothing. He tricked us so bad. We had nothing to do with this. It's all just amazing. September 2, there's a record. Said adjoining room and connecting request. They're going to tell you that they can look at this form now that they produced and tell you that the request to room next to Erin Andrews is not on this, not on here, and we never knew about it. Well, who do they think he wants to adjoin and connect with? Who's the person he wants to adjoin and connect with? He wants to be next to Erin Andrews. Next, they'll contend with you that removing a peephole and filming through the peephole is not, quote, foreseeable. Who would ever dream of that? You've got a minute to make the checklist to look, make sure that peephole is secure. Use common sense, and you know it can be monkeyed around with, and somebody can look through there for whatever ill purpose they want. And the law doesn't require anybody to perceive the exact occurrence that can happen. As long as the defendant here knows something bad could happen. In this situation, I submit something bad is probably going to happen. And that's why the standard exists. Don't let something bad happen to this lady in 1051. Mr. Dedman yesterday made a big deal out of that. This is not Marriott International. I don't get it. I don't look at myself. I don't care if it's not Marriott International. These people violated standards of care that existed to protect guests. Another thing they'll tell you in their defense is he did this at another hotel called the Blackwell Hotel in Ohio and captured 6 seconds of videotape of her at another hotel. The one he captured of Erin Andrews at Marriott is 4.5 minutes long, not 6 seconds. 4.5 minutes. And the final thing they're going to try to convince you of is that she's not seriously harmed by this. She just ought to get over it. They cannot step into her shoes and understand the humiliation that can come from the violation of the standard of care. It's not in their DNA to understand.
And you're going to get a story from Ms. Andrews. You get a story from this side, and you get to decide what happened. We talk about forensics. You get to do that. You get to analyze the proof. Counsel, I appreciate, I tell my clients what our proof is going to be, what we're going to say, and I won't do likewise with Ms. Andrews. What I will say, though, is what the story we believe is going to be. This isn't a story, or this is a story about a serial stalker, an individual by the name of Michael Barrett. You're going to hear about him. In fact, you're going to hear from Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett wasn't just somebody out there, not some college kid that got drunk and said something bad. Michael Barrett was an executive with an insurance company, an executive, a national director at a combined insurance company, lived in Chicago, Illinois. Michael Barrett decided he needed to make some money because he got himself in financial difficulties. So he determined that what he would do was go stalk Ms. Andrews, attempt to catch her naked, and then sell the video to somebody to get himself out of that financial difficulty. Michael Barrett started that in February 2008. Michael Barrett determined that ESPN was sending their crew to Ohio State to cover a basketball game there. Michael Barrett, in February 2008, went to Columbus, Ohio, checked into the Blackwell Hotel, took off the viewport of people. You'll hear counsel and I both using those words. Took off the viewport and recorded Miss Andrews at the Blackwell Hotel in February of 2008. You will hear Mr. Barrett talk about how he did that, how he was able to do that. What Mr. Barrett would do, counsel says that he would pick up the phone at my client's hotel and said, hey, I want to call and find out whether Erin Andrews is staying there. Not at all what Mr. Barrett. I want you to remember again, you decide what this case is all about, what the facts are. Not what counsel argued. You don't even have to listen to me now. You are part of the counsel. Listen to the proof in this case. Mr. Barrett's going to tell you what he did. Mr. Barrett, again, an executive with an insurance company, traveled 200 days a year. He would travel for his company in his national director position with the national sales director. What he did, he picked up that phone and he called a hotel and say, I need to confirm a reservation. And the hotel would say, what name or what's the confirmation number? I don't have it. I don't know what it is. Well, what name is it under? And Mr. Barrett would say, it's under the name Andrews. And they would say, well, what is the first name? And Mr. Barrett will tell you in his video deposition that he would say, well, it's under Jeff, Scott, or whatever name you would take. Jeff, Scott, and Erin. They would look into their directory and see Erin Andrews. He has connived, he has deceived, he is pretending to be a spouse or some relationship, and they see that. He has not confirmed Ms. Andrews' reservation. He was deceiving the hotels as to his reservation. We're still Blackwell at this point. So he goes to the Blackwell Hotel, stays in the hotel, he takes off the viewport, and he records Ms. Andrews through that viewport. He testified, and you'll hear him testify, that as he was in the process of doing that, his conscience got to him. So he stopped. And he left. And then he realized he should have done so. So then he made the plan, his intent, to go out and get another video. He found out that ESPN was sending their crew now to cover a Major League Baseball game in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Brewers. So as he testified in this case, and you'll hear again his testimony, he picked up the phone, called hotels in Milwaukee, same method of operation, Jeff, Scott, and Erin Andrews. This time he stays at the Radisson Hotel. Goes to the Radisson Hotel. This time he's on a different floor. One adjacent, on a different floor. Goes down to her room, follows her to her room, takes the peephole out, saws it off, ready to do it again. He gets an emergency phone call to go back to his home in Chicago. Hour and a half, 2 hours south. So he leaves, he doesn't do it. But he still wants more video. That was in July of 2008. He finds out that ESPN is going to send their crew here to Nashville, Tennessee in 2008 to cover the South Carolina Vanderbilt kickoff NCAA football game for the year. So what does he do? Takes the phone, calls the hotel here. This is Jeff, Scott, and Erin, Andrew, I need to confirm our reservation. He hangs up the telephone. One point about that, there's no proof as to who he called. We don't know. Nobody knows. Did he call the hotel here? Or did it when he came here and went to Marriott International? Again, in the course of this, keep as separate as possible the entities. Windsor, the management company. West End owns the hotel. West End retained Windsor to manage the hotel. West End is not a manager of a hotel. So they retained a professional to come do that. Marriott International is a wholly different entity altogether. West End pays a lot of money to the Marriott for various help in both in using the Marriott brand name and in help with respect to the hotel. So in terms of who Mr. Barrett called, there is no proof who he called. Whether it was the hotel here or whether it was Marriott International. What we do know is he found out, just as he did in Ohio and just as he did in Milwaukee, that Ms. Andrews was staying at the hotel. Mr. Barrett testified that what he then did, hung up the phone and he called the 1-800 number for Marriott International. That much we do know. Marriott International is actually going to send somebody here that you get to listen to and explain what had happened, what these charts mean, what the codes mean, and what happened in this case. The proof will be that Mr. Barrett called Marriott International, requested a room next to Erin Andrews. The Marriott International representative, not West End, not Windsor, the Marriott International person will come in and tell you that what happened was when the reservation was taken, that it was put in an internal Marriott International portion of the reservation, a portion that did not get to sit down to the West End, to the Vanderbilt Marriott. Didn't get sent to them. What a coincidence that Mr. Barrett ended up in the room next to Ms. Andrews. Here's what happened. Ms. Barrett gets here on September 4th of 2008 to do what he'd already done in Ohio, what he planned to do in Milwaukee. He gets here to check in, and his room isn't ready. Listen to the testimony about his room. Again, use the forensics. Look at this. Analyze what you're going to have available to you. And what you'll see is he wasn't going to have the room next to his house. His room isn't ready when he got here. It's a big football weekend. So Barrett goes up to the restaurant to go get something to eat. While he's there, he wants to find out which room Ms. Andrews is in. Mr. Barrett, an executive with his insurance company, 200-year a-night traveler, very familiar with hotels, exploited the entire industry. This is the hospitality industry. What does the hospitality industry do? It is hospitable. It provides guest satisfaction. It invites guests into their hotels. The whole reason these hotels exist is to provide positive guest experience. Mr. Barrett exploited the very basis of why these companies exist. He goes, and you're going to hear another term, employee phone, proprietary phone. Ms. Andrews' expert calls it proprietary phone. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing. He goes, he sneaks access to a phone he wasn't to have access to. When a person calls from their room to the front desk, down to the restaurant for a pickup, it goes to a person there that's with the hotel. When you make that phone call, room, whatever it may be in, it pops up there as the person receiving this with your name on the telephone on the LCD strip. So they answer the telephone and they'll say, Mr. Jones, what can I do for you? I'd like to get my car please. Ms. Smith, what can I do for you? I'd like to place a carry-up to my room. He got to that one of those phones. He then called the operator and said, connect me to Erin and Andrew's room. He connects up to her room. The room number pops up on the phone. He then goes up to the room. He goes up there, and the room next door, he's checked in, they're cleaning the hotel, his room isn't ready. He goes up to the room, 1051, and sees that the room next to it is actually being cleaned. Mr. Barrett then goes back down to the desk and says, I noticed room 1051, 1049 is being cleaned. Can't I have that room? And the woman at the front desk, you're going to hear from her, checks to make sure that the room is about to be available and says yes. Now what you're also going to hear is Mr. Barrett tell you that when he went to that West End, that hotel, the Vanderbilt Marriott, he never used Miss Andrews' name. He never used it. You'll also hear the woman that was working at the front desk say that when he was there to check in, he never used Miss Andrews' name. She knows that because her boss was very excited that ESPN and Miss Andrews was coming to the hotel. And she will testify that had Mr. Barrett come down there and used Miss Andrews' name, she would have gone to a manager to check this out. That would have been red flag for her. But he never used Miss Andrews' name, ever, the whole time that she was at that hotel. He gets the room, he goes up to the room, and then he does the same thing at the Nashville, at the Vanderbilt Marriott, that he had done at the Radisson Hotel in Milwaukee, as well as the Blackwell Hotel in Columbus, Ohio. I tell you this, it's going to be the proof. I tell you this for a second reason, though, and that is Mr. Barrett is here. He didn't show up. He didn't show up here to face you in person, but he's here. He's a defendant in this case. Mr. Barrett did a very bad thing to Miss Andrews. There's no question about that. He was a criminal. What he did to her was terrible. The counsel was trying to tie my clients, who were simply trying to provide a hotel room to their guests, to a criminal stalker, and they're not. You can analyze the proof. You can look through that, and you can decide what it is that you want to decide. Whether they did something wrong, or they didn't do something wrong. Whether this is all Mr. Barrett, this criminal stalker that set out to complete this task of his to accomplish, to make money, and do exactly what he did. You can decide all that. So the dates that come into will be put before you in February at the Blackwell Hotel in 2008. July at the Radisson Hotel was 2008. September 2008 at the Vanderbilt Marriott. Barrett has these tapes. He does nothing with it. October, November, December, and then in January, Mr. Barrett finally decides, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And he contacted PNC. he wanted to sell TMZ to tape. Actually sent them a portion of the tapes. Sent it to them, and the response back was, we're not interested. We don't want to buy it. He holds on to it until February of 2009. And then he uploads the video taken from the Vanderbilt Marriott. He also uploaded the video taken at the Blackwell Hotel at the same time. He uploaded those, put them on the internet. That's the proof, the evidence that you're going to hear this day. Those are the facts that happened in this case. These people did not just take a phone call from some stranger wanting to be in a room next to Erin Andrews and put him there. He deceived, connived, stalked. That's what Mr. Barrett did. Ms. Andrews is the same. She did. What he did was terrible. You're going to hear proof from several people, psychiatrists, psychologists, and other psychiatrists. Don't quite agree on what it is that she had. Two believe it's post-traumatic stress disorder that she obtained resulted from this. Psychiatrists will testify it's an adjustment disorder. They testify that adjustment disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. It's just a label. But the proof will be exactly as Mr. Bernard said, in that Ms. Andrews has thrived in her career since then. The proof will also be that Ms. Andrews, thankfully, fortunately, does not have a severe case of PTSD and is treatable. That's going to be the proof in this case. And we submit at the close of this, you'll recognize that there is a difference between that criminal stalker that did what he did, 3 hotels in the span of 9 months, then uploaded to the internet, as opposed to a hotel, 1 night that did not do was consecutive.
Okay, we'll take a 10 to 15 minute recess. You may be excused.
You're smart. You're not good. You can let me work. Control it.